Welcome back to the course again. In the previous lesson, we learned about recording macro. So recording macro was just imitating and copying every step and formatting that you do in Excel. An example, just Excel, which I'm doing right now. So we saw that recording macro uses cell reference. An example, it starts off by using which cell your data is in, and then copying and imitating every step and formatting that you do in that data field. So data field and cell reference, that's the same thing, because without the cells here, or the cells are the data fields in Excel. So you can add data. So I've told you about it before. If you want to add in data in example L2, you have to select L2 first with your left mouse key and then start adding in data. So recording macro also does the same thing. It selects the cell, which is cell reference. So cell reference is of two types, which is absolute and relative. So in this lesson, we will learn about using relative references. Both of them are quite the same, but this is a lot more different than just recording macro, because recording macro is just a specific cell, which is also termed as using absolute cell reference. But relative reference is like using more steps or more data fields. You can also use more data fields in recording macro, but relative reference seems a bit more complex, a bit more flexible in this stage. So what we're going to do first is let you know about the cell reference, the two types of cell reference. So cell reference of two types are absolute and relative. So what is the absolute? Sometimes while selecting a cell, an example like here, which is E4, I've selected E4, right? And you can see that there is E4. And this is relative cell reference. It's just E4, and you can just select anyone that is relative. And what is absolute cell reference? When you use, let me give you an example, and then select one cell, and you can see that F5 is selected. When you press F4, not bad. Let me add in some data first. Give me a moment. An example like this, and what I'm going to do is do it again, this one, and press my bad, it's F4. Now you can see that there are two of these dollar signs. So what are these? These dollar signs are used to anchor or lock in a cell. An example, when you have some data in it, an example 1, 2, 3, 4, 43, whatever it is. So you have all of this data, and what we do is equal 1 or star, and then this one, and just press enter. It's 7, right? And now you have to like use the fill header, and then you will get all the summations and the multiplications. Sometimes all of these, the results are not the same which you want. An example, some might get scrambled over and over again. So when that happens, you have to use absolute cell reference, which is by using F4 until you get this dollar signs, and then you will see them. You can see that this is H5. Now you will see that when you use absolute, you have the same thing, which is just 1 7, 1 into 7. That's all of them are 7. And if you remove all of them, this will take all of the data in each and every column and row and then give you the result. But when you use absolute cell reference, it doesn't give you the same results. So let me start off with an example. Let me create a data table first and then show you how to use relative reference.